Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. I've got a few little more sit-up things to do. So, yeah. Today, I'm sorry if this light is flickering. I might end up turning that off. But, let me see. What am I? Okay. I'm a little scattered. So, I'm gonna just start talking to you while Oh, hello. Hi, Sketchbook Corner. I'm doing, well, I'm just about to explain that. Let me set this up so I can read the chat better. Also, once again, apologies for my squeaky chair. Someday it's comfortable and isn't ridiculously old and very loud squeaking. But for now, this is what I've got. Let me see. Oop. But for now, let's go. So, I meant to upload a video Wednesday because I always upload a video on Wednesday. And if I don't manage Wednesday, I usually manage just a day late. And so I was planning on doing that too, but that also didn't happen. So basically, my depression and anxiety have been hitting really hard this week, partially because of external factors, but also because I'm switching medications right now, and every time I switch medications, I have a dip. So that's going on, and then I just found out yesterday that one of my grandfathers has cancer, and it's pretty far progressed. He doesn't have a whole lot of time left, so I'm having a bit of a hard time at the moment. So, and live streams are a lot better for me for being able to do them without a lot of energy because they don't require any editing, and sometimes that takes a lot out of me, especially since I'm the whole watching myself say something that over and over again while I edit it, and then especially if I then try to do the subtitles, it's kind of a lot. Now I can't see where I'm supposed to be putting my paint. Anyway, so I'm doing live streams, and I may be doing a few more live streams than usual. Thank you, Sketchbook Corner. That's sweet of you. So, I may be doing some extra live streams for a while. Anyway, this piece is something that I started like a year ago. It's taken books, and it's just kind of an image that I've had in my head for even longer than that. I've had depression and anxiety for probably since puberty. So I'm 21 now, so 8 to 10 years. And for a long time I didn't know what it was or why I felt the way I did, but once I figured out what it was, probably when I was, not till I was 19, I started trying to figure out, kind of analyze it more and visualize it, because art is one of my kind of things, so I try to figure out what a representation of what it feels like sometimes would be. And so sometimes when I am feeling not just sad, but the particular feeling of depression, when I can tell that it's an internal mental health thing as opposed to a like a circumstantial, I'm sad that I didn't get an opportunity or got a bad grade or whatever. What it feels like when I'm having a depressive episode is more like these strings or gloopy arms of darkness just kind of pulling me down, and I just can't seem to pull up, even though there's no actual reason to be upset. It just is pulling me down, and so I eventually came up with this drawing sort of thing that is me getting pulled on by my depression strings. So that's what I'm painting for now, but I'm also going to be painting another piece that is a little bit more uplifting, which is I posted a bunch about my mental health and the things that have been happening lately on Twitter last night, and people were really supportive, and it made me think about another artistic rendering that I had seen quite a while ago when I was first learning about mental health online, and it was of a kid who is on his computer, and he's got all sorts of messages of love coming out of it, and how much better it makes him feel. So I'm going to try to do my version of that, and kind of talk about how the online communities that I found have been so helpful to me and have lifted me up a lot when I've been having a hard time. So that will be a slightly happier subject. I don't really know why I'm using this brush. This isn't usually my detail brush. This isn't my usual brush, period, unless I'm going for impressionism, but I guess it's good enough. Because I am trying to be a little looser with my watercolors. It's a struggle because I have some control issues. I want to control where the paint goes. I don't want to just do what it's going to do, but that's kind of the nature of watercolors, and I would like to get some more of the effects that come from being looser with your watercolors. Thank you very much, Sketchbook Corner. You're so sweet. Yeah, so like I was saying, a lot of the support that I've gotten from people online is really has really meant a lot to me, and YouTube has actually been one of the bigger places that I've gotten a lot of support. I actually first got into YouTube when I was in a really bad place, and my first internet forays were actually mostly on Pinterest, because it's mostly like repinning other people's stuff that they've made and like gathering it to yourself so you can look at other people's stuff without having to contribute anything. So with my social anxiety, that felt really safe. And then eventually on Pinterest, I found a lot of screen caps and GIFs of Dan and Phil, and so that made me really curious about who they were and what they did and why people felt such a strong bond with them and felt like they had helped them so much. So I went on YouTube and searched them up, and then I really loved them. And then through them, I actually encountered a lot of the other people I started following on YouTube, like Louise Pentland and Tom Scott and who else? Loads of people. And and then eventually because of that, I got interested in making my own YouTube videos, and then when I started that, I met this whole artist community and bookish community, and like everybody who watches each other's videos and comments on them, and is always just so supportive all the time. And I met people like Eve Harvey, and through her I met most of the artists that I follow, because she's such a community gatherer, I guess. And so she introduced me to a lot of the artists I follow now. And a lot of them are just so supportive and kind. One of the things when I was watching Chrissy Canvas Art's one of her streams for the first times, one of the things people were actually talking about mental health, and it was just such a friendly and kind and supportive atmosphere. It was just really wonderful. So I'm really glad that I have met all the people that I have because I've started on YouTube. It's really, really been a big help to me. And one of the things that I do a lot when I am feeling very bad is just lay on my bed and watch more YouTube videos and catch up with my friends on here. And it's been really, really helpful and made me feel a lot less alone. Yeah, hey Eve! Nice to see you here. Yeah, sketchbook. It's it's a struggle to try to. I really love other people's art that just lets the watercolors flow, but it's so hard to like let it do what it's gonna do. I want to control it all. Yeah, Eve, I'm actually doing pretty well this morning. I was able to get good sleep last night. Is this even on screen? Yes. Um, I was able to get some good sleep last night and actually woke up in a pretty good mood this morning. But circumstances around me are not so great at the moment. But I have just started a new medication, but it's not going to probably kick in for like a couple of weeks. And then it's on the lowest dose, so it probably won't do very much. We're mainly checking for side effects at the moment. So things are going to be a little bit difficult for a while, but everybody online is like really helping me and really making me feel a lot better. So this, by the way, Eve, is kind of a really old rendition that it came up a long time ago of what it feels like when I'm having a depressive episode. But in a little bit, I'm going to be working on a painting of a concept of really lovely, nice messages and love coming out of a computer screen. So we'll be working on that in a little bit. So how are you two doing, Eve and Sketchbook Corner? How are your days? I can barely see my lines. I did this so long ago, I don't remember what they were, and I sketched this down really lightly so that I wouldn't be able to see my lines when I was finished, but the problem is I can't see them where they are right now either. He's just starting the sandwich. A crisp sandwich? Does that mean you've got crisps inside your sandwich? Or is it a crisp sandwich like the ingredients are crisp? Let me see. What shading. I'm going to try to do shading. One of the things that I'm not good at is shading, because previously to this, I mainly worked in very cheap pencils and they really didn't shade. So, like, I mainly learned to just color in flatly. I didn't learn a lot about shading until I started watching other art tubers and they were doing it. I was like, how do you make your stuff look so good? I don't know how to do that. So I'm kind of teaching myself now. Just crisps and bread. Oh. Oh, and Sketchbook Corner's having lunch too or something. She's having a cheese sandwich. Yes, food is life. Food is wonderful. It also makes me feel better, which is why I'm overweight. But it's still very appreciated. I would rather be happy and physically unhealthy than the other way. Which, one of the things about the YouTube community is Tom Ska, who I follow, his vlogs on Dark Squidge. He talks a lot about his mental health, and he's had a lot of struggles with being overweight because he eats and drinks to feel better. And so it's been really helpful watching him and his journey and how he goes up and down and has struggles. So it makes me feel better about my own difficulties. So that's been really nice. Oh, he was giving up chocolate for Lent. Yes, why not be overweight and happy? Exactly. Now I've waited too long to blur this, and there's a line. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh dear. You'd think after working for like a year in watercolors, I'd figure out that you have to blur quickly, but no, I'm very slow. Yes, as soon as you accept it yourself, it can become a lot better. Yes, that's very true. Before, I only figured out what was going on with my brain when I was 19. So before that, it was a lot harder. And now that I've figured it out and can talk to people about it, it's so much better. But what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I was just telling Sketchbook Corner that I might be doing more live streams and less edited videos for a while because these take less energy and I'm a little low energy at the moment. So we'll see if that actually happens. I've been reading a lot lately because there have been several reading challenges that various YouTubers that I really like have been doing. And so I've been very busy with that and looking forward to making the videos for them, but I'm not sure if I can get up the energy to do that or not. So I might like do a chatty live stream about the books I've read or something, but I'm not sure. Oh, that'd be really great if you could join me. Yeah. So right now, I think Femme Fantail Readathon is still going on. So that is a readathon about reading women's fantasy, because the leader of it, what's her name? Jean Bookish Thoughts, really likes fantasy, and she's a feminist, so with it being Women's Month, Women's History Month this month, at least in the US. I don't know if that's international or not, but I feel like it is because I've seen some British people talking about it. So we're reading a bunch of fantasy written by women, and so right now I've just finished Heart's Blood, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I really, really liked it. It helps that I absolutely love the Beauty and the Beast story to start with, but it was actually a really good retelling that had a lot of new aspects while staying true to my favorite parts of the original story, so I really like that. Yes, Sketchbook Corner, yes. Staying, what was I gonna say? I had words in my head. Yes, it saves a lot of energy to not have to edit. And lately I've been trying to caption my videos, especially my art videos, because you can't see my mouth, so obviously even if you can lip read, that's not going to help you in my art videos. So doing that on top of editing is like saying the thing I was going to say once and then watching it over again and going over it while I edit, and then typing it all out while I caption it, and like, my words are not that fascinating when you have to watch them 3 times. Bit boring. Yeah, it's really nice, all the interaction you get in live streams. I've used them several times when I've been lonely. It's nice to be able to hop on a live stream and you've got a bunch of people there with you, even though they're not really there. They're far away, but you're together. It's really nice. And it's just kind of different from watching a video and commenting and other people commenting back, because it's just like you have an ongoing conversation and they're like with you in the moment, so you can talk a lot more. So that's really nice. Let me see. What else have I been reading? I've been reading... Oh yeah, I'm listening to an audiobook at the moment, which is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. And so it's part of the Lunar Chronicles series, which is, I need a smaller brush for this. It's a sci-fi series that each book is, and each main character is based on a fairy tale retelling. And so the first book was Cinder, and it was based on Cinderella, and then this current one is based on Red Riding Hood. And so it's really cool to see a fantasy fairy tale that's then taken and retold as a sci-fi story. So that's been really interesting. I've really enjoyed that. But it is, I am noticing very much because of this readathon, I'm reading YA at the same time that I'm reading some adult and some middle grade. And so it's really highlighting to me that I prefer both middle grade and adult over YA, which there just seems to be a lot bigger online community for YA and a lot more like hype around YA books. And that seems to have spread to the publishing industry because a lot of people who like write about what's called new adult, which is college age, get told by their publishers to make them teenagers and make it YA because they sell better. So like it feels weird to prefer what's it called? Not that age group. It's my least favorite age group because of all the teen angst and the like thinking it's more important whether this guy likes you or not than like saving your world, because they're like big epic fantasies or sci-fi story plots, but like people still care about this stupid boy likes them. And it's so weird because in both adult and middle grade I find that there are romance aspects and stuff, but like the characters recognize that those are of a lesser importance than like saving the world. Yeah, it's so funny that it sells better. There's like a huge market for it of people who aren't even teenagers. They're adults, but they like to read YA. I don't know why. Thanks, Steve. Yeah. Yeah, and you stream a lot because, yeah, I always like joining yours because there's lots of people and we always have a lot of fun just being very silly and joking. It's nice. Now, do I want to do the details in pen or do I want to, I kind of want to do it in pen because I think my page is still wet, so if I try to use watercolors to make fine lines, that's not going to work. But maybe I'll put this one to the side because I think my other one is dry now. So just before I started the stream, like 10 minutes before I started, I did this, which is, I splattered a bunch of colors all over this piece of watercolor paper and then sprayed it with my handy dandy spray bottle. And so it got all spread out around the page, which I really like. So that's kind of setting up my background for my other piece. Now, I think I'm gonna do pencil to start. I need to get the outline down. So I'm thinking a laptop here, and then somebody in a blanket cocoon, holding it. Maybe it should be like that. Like that. I don't know if that'll look right or not. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, then blanket cocoon. I usually don't actually put, oops, that's too big, put my blanket over my head, but sometimes I do. And I usually just kind of wrap it around myself like a cloak. Also, I got this new kneaded, ooh, that works really well. This new kneaded eraser, oh my gosh, it works so well. A while ago, but I haven't actually had the opportunity to try it out yet. So I'm very impressed with my kneaded eraser. I like that a lot. Because I see all these artists with their fancy gray squishy erasers, and I wanted one. Oh, hi, Dina! So nice to have you here. Yeah. I really like, I like these colors a lot, the pink and the blue and the purple. Actually, my room is painted. One wall's pink, one one's purple, and one's blue. And all my favorite clothes are in those colors, so yeah. Now, how am I going to put a face? I guess, does it need, okay, the blankets, like that. And some hair coming out. My hair always gets in the way of everything. And especially on days when I'm vegging with my laptop, I don't put up my hair. I just sit there in the morning with it down. Because all the rest of the times when I'm feeling well, it actually makes me feel better to have my hair in a ponytail because it's not in the way. But when I'm laying down vegging, I can't be bothered. So it gets all over everything. Now, I guess my blanket in real life is pink, so let's start with this. Yes, I think Eve uses a regular eraser. But like, maybe it's my watercolor people that I follow are all got these these fancy erasers. And they look like they work so good, and they talk about how they work so good, and sometimes my erasers are like super, why am I using this brush? It's a horrible brush. They're like, they scratch up the paper, so I wanted to try it out. And I'm glad I did, because it really does work. Oh, right, you call them rubbers. I have a story about that, but it's not appropriate, so I'm not going to say it. Anyway, how are you doing, Dina? We've all kind of checked in. Eve and Sketchbook Corner have been eating sandwiches, cheese and crisp sandwiches. How are you doing? Oh, you're ready to have a bowl of oatmeal. Everybody's eating. But yeah, most of the time when I'm listening to a live stream, I'm eating. It's just, well, part of it is that I don't like to eat without other people because I eat dinner with my family, and so breakfast and lunch I'm usually by myself, and it just feels a lot nicer to be listening to somebody talk while I do it. Now, what color? I think blue. That's not the color of my laptop, but I'm going to go with maybe a limited palette for this, so we'll pretend that's a blue laptop. No, I've gone outside the lines. I have to make the lines different. There. Ready to have oatmeal. Oh, you're having nutmeg with your oatmeal and raisins and hot tea with milk. Yes, yes. Your fries are chips and your chips are crisps. So if you were having, say, a chip sandwich, that would be a French fry sandwich, as opposed to a crisp sandwich, which is what we would call a chip sandwich. Yeah. Which you'd think would be easier for Americans to figure out, because we still call fish and chips, even though it's fish and French fries. So, like, but I guess we don't call anything crisps, so we just don't know what that word means. Yeah, potato chip sandwich sounds nice. I was babysitting a kid once, and he had a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Yeah, it was a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and he had a ooh, that's a bit bright. He had a bag of Cheetos, so like the puffy, cheesy, kind of like crisps. We kind of would consider them crisps, but they're not shaped like crisps, but they are like puffy, mostly air fried things. And so he opened up his peanut butter jelly sandwich and piled all of his Cheetos onto it, and just had that for lunch. Yeah. I don't know, it might. I can imagine it being delicious, like, if it was just a Cheetos and bread sandwich, but, like, the cheesiness mixed with the peanut butter and jelly just was a little strange. Oh. But he seemed to like it. Get some wisps. Wisp, wisp, wisp. A bit more red. Yeah. I'm not sure what color to make my face. Maybe the other type of blue. Or maybe I could make a slightly greeny blue. A greeny pink, a greeny, I don't know. Let me mix my colors and see what comes out. Oh, that's ugly, sort of grayish color. That's a bit better. Oh, I say better and you things like that. Yeah, I feel like I've heard some of my British YouTubers say it that way. But, and then there's a whole thing where y'all don't pronounce your R's. Like a lot of times I've been seeing British YouTubers say that something rhymes that shouldn't rhyme, like butter and law and was it Santa Claus? Somebody was doing, Dan and Phil were doing a thing, a rhyming thing, and it was called, I can't even remember now, but they were rhyming something that ended with the sound ah with something that ended with the sound r. And it was just like, I was just like, that doesn't rhyme! That's not, no! That's not the sound that makes. So, like, it was just so funny that, like, and they're not spelled the same, but, like, there are some things that Americans say that aren't spelled the same, but that we pronounce the same. Like the end in some letters that aren't the same as another word, but they still sound the same. But that just seems so severe to say that something that a word that ends with an R and a word that doesn't end with an R are supposed to rhyme. But I have heard it, like, a lot of words that don't end in R, when British people say it, it'll almost sound like there's an R at the end, and then when they say something like buh, it'll sound like there isn't one. So, like, I didn't realize that you guys, like, totally consider them the same. It's not just only how you pronounce it, but you, like, consider that that's the sound that those letters make. So that's really interesting. Hey, Chrissy! Nice to have you here. I'm drawing this is a limited palette painting thing of a girl on her computer, and I'm gonna have love messages coming out of it because I've been the support I've been getting from the online community has been really helpful to me lately, so I wanted to kind of depict that. Let me see. Okay. Maybe I should, I'm not sure if I should start messing with the face before or after that dries, but maybe it would be good if it kind of blurred in a little bit. There, I have a green nose. Now, let me see. One of my favorite gifts to send and to receive is the little, what's he called? Ghost. That's the word. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that word. The little ghost. It says it's sending you a ghost hug and you can't feel it, but it's there, something like that. So maybe that will be the first little thing. I might need a reference for this. Sorry about that. I don't know what that might have sounded like on the stream, but my phone just buzzed. I'm gonna go look up a reference for this because I can't remember what it looks like. There it is, ghost hug. Okay, that's what it looks like. It's got little tiny arms. Ooh, that's wet. Little tiny arms. tiny arms. And I guess a little bit of shading over on this side. And then a little shadow. And then two little eyes. There, no. Then there's the other one that's just a little outline of a person. Gotta flip back and forth so I can read the chat. Oh, was the buzz that was loud? Oh, Eve's gonna head off to go be doing her own stream. Thanks for joining, Eve. Doing some more doodling, yeah. Eve's been doing some very pretty mandalas lately. I've been really enjoying the pretty colors. No, let me see. I need my smaller brush. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the text for those with a pen. So that's going to be really hard to do otherwise. What other gifts do I love? Oh, there's the one that's a picture of Big Hero 6 when he's patting the head of... Is Hiroshi his name? There it is. I'm not sure of the kid's name, but I really love when he's like he's a health robot, so he's like taking care of the kid's mental health by giving him a hug. I love that. Let me see if I can do a little simplified version of that, because that's a pretty complicated picture. That's my version of the kid's spiky hair. That's very good. Let's see. Where's Big Zero? It's here. The head is like that. And then he's a big guy. Swoosh. Ah, that's way too much. Oh, I had too much water on my brush. Now he's got a dot in the middle of his head. I'll come back and add the details later when that isn't so wet. Okay. Oh dear, I've missed a bunch of chat. Madonna said she's gonna sit in the boat with Ernie to help him row the boat. I don't know what that means, but it sounds interesting. Yes, a lot of people in the art community are bonkers, but we like them that way. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a bunch of details in pen, and then I'm gonna come back and finish the face with some watercolors. Where are my pens? Oh, Pencil's live stream, yes. Pencil's live stream, I think, get even weirder than Eve's, which is saying something. Let's see. Purple, and green, and pink, maybe? Now I've forgotten the text that goes with these. Okay, sending virtual hug. There we go. I really appreciate the whole thing that is gifts, because a lot of times with my social anxiety, it's hard to feel okay with the words that I come up with. So it's really nice to be able to send a picture that expresses it. Especially when someone's feeling bad, it feels strange to try to figure out what words you can say, so just sending a virtual hug is a very nice thing to be able to do. Oh, I'll watch your next live stream, Chrissy, and then I'll understand. Yeah. So I really appreciate all the nice things that other people like me who don't know what to say send. Nice hugs. Let me see, maybe a pink one for over here. Oh no, I don't know if that'll be dark enough. This one. I don't know if this is on two-lined or not. Okay. Okay, let me see what I can do with her eyes. I don't know where I put my palette. There it is. Oh, wait. I've got more things to write. Oh no. I just brushed the wire that this is plugged in with. That's not good. Oh, thanks, Dana. Yeah, that's one of the things that I really like about the visual arts, that you can express things that it's hard to say with words. And I'm a writer, so I also really like to express things with words, but there are just ways you can communicate through different mediums that you can't through the others. Oh, by the way, I met somebody else who's both an author and an artist. Artie, I can't remember his last name. Let me look him up. But I met him through one of his art live streams, because, who was it? Mando and I think Davey met him and introduced us, Artie Burkloss. So, and then because I met him on that live stream, he messaged me on Instagram and had seen that I was an author, and so he told me he is one too. And so now we're talking about both art and our writing, so that's really cool. A magical tour to your castle on Monday. Nice. Oh, is it going to be that picture that I saw on Instagram with maybe it was a lake, but it had like a little tower in kind of the background? Is that the one you're going to do? Yeah, you know him. Yeah, it was nice that Mando and David kind of brought him into our thing. It's let me see. Artie Burkloss is Arte. That's his first name, and then his last name is Birklaus. Yeah, it's really nice. And then I keep meeting new people, because some people like join some of the live streams and not the other ones. So then sometimes I think new people who haven't come to any of the live streams before end up coming to some, and then we meet them. So that's really nice. We keep meeting new artists mostly through live streams, but sometimes through comments and collabs too. So that's nice. What was the other thing? Oh yeah. Yes, he does have great hair. Yeah. So he's actually written some fantasy, so that's really cool because that's my main genre. So we can talk about that. This is so much faster. I write so much faster in cursive. Oh my gosh. I used to like, my printing used to be really hideous until I had to do it a bunch for, I was writing little notes to kids, and so they couldn't read cursive, so I had to practice it a bunch. So now it's like readable, but I still write so much faster in cursive. I actually used to, nowadays I write my stories on my computer because it's faster to edit, but I used to write all my stories longhand in notebooks, and so they're all in cursive. And a lot of people can't read them because it's not my nicest, neatest cursive, because a lot of time I was scribbling down the idea that come into my head really quickly, so it's also very ugly cursive, so not many other people can read it. Yeah, he's from Denmark. It's really cool. Oh, did I do that? When did I do that? I've gone and smeared it. Well, at least it looks like it's kind of artistical smearing, but I didn't do it on purpose. Ah! Oh, I got distracted because I was going to say something and then I saw I'd smeared this. I was going to say it's really cool to meet so many people from different countries. Like Denmark, and I've actually met some people from, well, a person from Brazil, and then of course Sketchbook Corner is from India, and a lot of people from the UK, which there seems to be like an oddly high proportion of YouTubers from the UK, but maybe it's just like English speaking YouTubers from the UK versus like how much population they have compared to the US. Like half of all the English speaking YouTubers I follow are English, whereas there's a lot less people living in England than in America. So I don't know if it's a bigger thing in England or Great Britain, but there's a lot. Oh, the English painter, yeah. Oh, that's nice of you, Dina. Yeah, go check on Eve's stream and tell us what they're getting up to in there, what shenanigans they're doing. Yeah, English painters are taking over the world. There, I think that's about filled up with messages, so now I need to go after the eyes. I'm not sure what size brush I want to use. Maybe something in between what I've been doing so far, because the small one's a bit small and the big one's a bit big. Oh, hey, Crafts. I met you in one of Eve's streams. I'm doing a piece that's kind of about all of the support people give each other online, because it's been really helpful to me lately. So I'm kind of doing something based on that. So I've got my little gifts here, and then some nice messages, and a girl with a blanket. What's it called? I had the name for it earlier. Not a burrito. Not a cloak. I don't remember. Anyway, she's got a blanket over her head, because that's a comforting way to sit and watch your online things when you're not feeling so great. Let me see, where did I put that tissue? Yeah, I'm having a bit of a mental health low as of, I guess, this whole week, but people online have been so helpful to me. It's not hitting me nearly as hard as it did before I was plugged into all these online communities. How are you doing, Ian? Oh no, he's having technical difficulties. Yeah, a lot of people seem to have those and have to restart their streams. I don't know if it's an internet connectivity issue or if YouTube is just not being real helpful to streamers. Fortunately, I haven't had to do that. Because it's very frustrating. Then people have to find it again. Oh, now that I've messed about with her mouth so much, she's not smiling anymore. Now I have to... There, that's better. Slightly. There. Now. Yeah, internet gremlins. Thank you, Nina. Yeah, let me see if I can somehow get the whole painting in shot. I have not arranged it very well. Kind of, something like that. Anyway, we got little smudged virtual hug giver down in the corner. Mary. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call that one good. I really like that. Alright. I might eventually decide I want to make the laptop look more like a laptop, but for now, I think it's good. I'm not gonna be able to figure that out at the same time and trying to talk about things. And you're loved. Yes. I like that part is bottom. Yeah. Yeah. So they're kind of like, what's it called? They're representing all the nice messages she's getting from her online friends. Now I'm friends again. I love these pens. They're Bic Intensity Fineliners. They're nice and small lines, and I really like all the colors, but I saw them in Fred Meyer's recently for like $20, and I can't believe that I spent $20 on pens. So I really hope that I got these on sale. I mean, I know that's not a lot of money to spend on pens, but like it's a lot of money for me personally to spend on pens. So, right, I'm doing her face. Face. Alright, see you in a little bit, Chrissy. Okay, let me see. Pink. Oh, I don't know if that's a bit bright. Doesn't really match the... Maybe I'll just use this for all of it. That doesn't look quite right. Oh well. It is a very old sketch that was not transferred all that well. But at least I kind of like how the shading on the legs turned out. It's a nice graduation. Okay, let me get the black one. Hey Chrissy, she's back. Yeah, this one is I came up with this a little bit ago. Well, not a little bit ago, a year ago. It's kind of representation of what it feels like when I'm having a bad mental health day. Feels like I'm being dragged down. And it's very weird because, you know, some days you're sad for a reason, and like you're sad that you got a bad grade, or you're sad that, like, I don't know, for like an outward reason, and it just feels a lot different when it's a depression thing. It feels like something's dragging you down, but you don't know what it is. So I came up with this as kind of a way to explain it to people. What really sucks is that being self-employed, kind of trying to be self-employed, is all my deadlines are self-imposed. So a lot of times when I'm feeling this way, it's really hard to get anything done because it feels like, you know, nothing's worthwhile and stuff, because depression really eats away your motivation. So it's very frustrating. Oop, that's gone wrong. Oh, thanks, Chrissy. Yes, I just got the notification that already started streaming. Oh, I love that idea, Dina. That I could have a version where she's broken free of them. I like that a lot. Yeah, I think I will do that sometime. Thanks. Let me see. Alright. La, 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 la. Get this one back over here. My art teacher taught me to not sign in the corner. She thinks it's too boring, so now I sign all sorts of different places on the page. Let me see. There we go. Alright, so thank you. Ah! Just dropped my palette, it's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been really nice. I guess I'll be seeing you in the next video, and I might be seeing you in either Eve's or Artie's live streams, and in your own live streams. See you guys. Bye-bye.